Molly sat on a set of service stairs in the Windsor kitchen, waiting for Constance Windsor to speak. It was a large space with a walk-in pantry, brick furnace, dumbwaiter, and 2 service stairs. Kip, who had been called in from the garden, was sitting on the kitchen counter beside her.
Have you and I met before?
No, Mom.
And when you approached this property, did I greet you and say, "Come in"?
No, Mom.
Interesting. And yet I find you inside my home, uninvited, already unpacked, telling my daughter goodness knows what kind of nonsense about monsters and amorous clergymen.
It was just a story, Mom. I didn't mean nothing by it.
Mommy, you're not being fair. I was the one who let her in.
Surely you can appreciate how this looks from my perspective.
There has been some sort of confusion. We was hired on the behalf of your husband, Master Windsor.
Were you? I'm afraid that you, the agency, and my husband were mistaken. I have told him repeatedly, as I am telling you now, that I neither need nor want servants in my home. As you can see, I am managing just fine on my own.
Under other circumstances, Molly would have admired a woman who so boldly contradicted her husband, but now it only felt like some wicked joke. Molly looked at the room they stood in, thinking about how little this woman truly knew about keeping house.
I say you have them both arrested. They're dirty and they smell like fish.
This comment came from the boy sitting at the counter next to Penny. Like his sister and mother, he had pale skin and dark hair. Unlike them, however, he was exceedingly ugly. His wide face was marred with pimples, and his deep-set eyes were connected by thick eyebrows that met in the middle to create a unibrow.
Lucky for the pair of you, I cannot heed my son's advice. There are no such authorities in this backward place. If you leave immediately, I shall consider the matter done with. As you can see, I have children enough to care for already. Surely you and your brother can find jobs in town.
There are no jobs in the city, not for us. We'll work for room and board. You don't even have to pay us.
We do not need your charity.
I gather your family lived in town before moving out here. If you ever walked a street before dark, you know what kind of work falls to those in our desperate position. Please, my brother's health is fragile. He's fragile.
How old are you, child?
14, Mom. I know it's young, but I promise I will work harder than 10 grown-ups put together. I've kept house my whole life, and Kip can grow anything. Give him a month, and he'll have these grounds looking like your own personal Eden.
That and then some.
And your parents?
Our Ma and Dad got slowed down a bit on the way from Ireland. We're on our own.
They were forced to join the pirate crew or else walk the plank.
How extraordinary.
Please, Mom, we've no one to turn to.
You do not know what you're asking, child. This house is no place for you. I suggest you leave before it gets dark.
For a brief moment, it occurred to Molly that perhaps this woman did not want to be in this place either.
Imagine waking up tomorrow, like always, only there's something a bit different. A kettle whistling, calling for tea, a jar of fresh-cut flowers on your mantel from your own garden, and a pan of fresh rolls browning in the oven. And then there's a polite knock at the door.
And?
Afraid you'll have to hear the rest tomorrow.
The woman blinked, looking at her surroundings as if for the first time. Her eyes drifted from the dirty floor to the stained counter to the neglected pots, and finally to her own children huddled by the stove.
Mommy, can we please keep them?
You will start this evening, but first, baths.